Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new here. My name is Katelyn and it's so nice of you to join. Today we are having like the most dreary, like cold, rainy, it's been freezing rain all morning. Just like, you know, when like your insides feel cold, that's how it feels. So we are having a very cozy day. We are having a very cozy day at home, so I figured I would film a little Q&A today because we have had a pretty new group of people, I think, join this little channel. And I feel like I haven't done a Q&A in like so long, and I also wanted to update you guys on some stuff just going on in my life, in our lives. And yeah, so I figure I would do a little fun little Q&A, see if you guys had any questions, kind of talk a little bit, update you guys of what's going on, and then go from there. So I asked you guys on Instagram if you had any questions, and then I also asked on just the YouTube general like chat section. But if you guys don't follow me on any of my other social medias, I will link them all down below. They're always linked below, but I have TikTok and Instagram. Instagram is, I feel like, where I normally talk to you guys. TikTok recently has been a lot of like just exactly what it's for, short form content. I've been doing a lot of like pin unboxings over there. If you've missed a lot of the pin boxings or pin mail videos on my channel, basically they're gonna live over there now. I think it's just so much easier to film them there, and I feel like right now, like just how I like my channel, I really like having vlogs, and I don't mind opening pin mail in a vlog or whatever, but like honestly I just like, I feel like putting them just like in a quick little video makes it like way easier. But yeah, so TikTok is over there, and then just kind of like day-to-day kind of chatting with you guys. I really rarely post on Instagram now, I feel like, but it's still like probably the best place to talk to me over there if you guys have ever any like questions, or if you ever are looking for any type of information where you want to chat with me. Instagram is the best way to like get a hold of me. And then obviously YouTube is where I still post my regular like daily vlogs and like videos and stuff. So yeah, so I'm gonna go over to Instagram and see what you guys had to say. So I think what I'll do is I'll answer questions first, and then anything that I don't cover in the questions, I will kind of just give a general life update at the end. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Get a nice little cup of tea, a little beverage of some sort, get a snack, whatever you feel like you need. This might be a little bit of a longer video, but I hope you guys enjoy. First question, what music are you loving at the moment? I have realistically right now, like one of my goals for this year is to try and listen to more music and like different artists and stuff. And I was doing a good job of it until Taylor went on tour, and then I just like went down my Taylor Swift rabbit hole, and I've just been listening solely to Taylor Swift and Harry Styles again. And I don't know why, but they are just my comfort people. So I've been listening to Taylor only and Harry, and that's basically it. Those are my two right now. So I need to get back into listening to new artists. So leave some artists down below that you love, and I'll be happy to check them out. Okay, 1.5 million people all just want to know when my next Disney trip is. And I can't say specifically, but I will say that we have plans right now of a Disney trip for this year. I can give you the facts. It is not booked yet. We do have dates in mind, but they might change. And we have hotels in mind, but those also might change. So that's all I can really give right now, but it will be before this year is over. We will be most likely going back to Disney. It's like 90% sure. There obviously we can't say 100% certainty until it's like booked and like we're on our way there. But we do have a Disney trip tentatively planned for this year, and I am so excited for it. It's going to be like our redemption trip from last year, from when we were both sick, and I'm just like really excited. It's going to be a fairly long trip, which is nice, and we have like extra things planned that aren't just like going to the parks, so I'm like really excited about that. And yeah, it's going to be really fun if everything works out, crossing our fingers. Normally I don't announce my Disney trips until like literally we're like leaving, so don't expect anything until like a week or two before we actually like go, but know that there is most likely one coming for this year, and I'm really, really excited about it. Okay, this is like all together. Best movie you've watched, best book you've read, and album you've heard lately. So I think she's meaning all of these lately. So best movie I've watched recently. I recently actually saw the new Scream. Oh my god, I can't remember what one is. Like Scream 4? I feel like I'm way off on that. Scream 6. Oh my gosh, I was so off. Scream 6, I just saw in theaters a couple weeks ago when at first we like went and saw it opening night in 3D. My friend Evan and I, and it was so good. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and like I just love the Scream movies. I think they're so good, and I never got to see any of them. I don't think we were talking about this. I don't think I saw any of the Scream movies in theaters until this one, so it was really like a fun experience. So that's like the best movie I've watched recently. Book I've read, the best one recently I think that I've read would have been, the best one honestly that sticks out to me right now is Jeanette McCurdy's I'm Glad My Mom Died, because that was like the first nonfiction book that I've read in a long time that's been like a memoir instead of like a self-help book. So I really enjoyed it, and I thought that the writing was really like really well done, but it was still very simple to read, and I thought it was just like a really good like book in general. And best album I've heard lately, album as a whole lately, it's not like a recent album that's come out recently, but like because I heard it recently, it's Lizzie McAlpine's 5 Seconds Flat. That entire album is so good. Like I love a few songs off of Gracie's newest album that she just came out with like a month ago, and like same with Kelsey Ballerini, like hers was really good, but I feel like an album as a whole was 5 Seconds Flat by Lizzie McAlpine. Have you ever been to Disneyland? And if not, do you plan on going? So if you guys are new here, we are from Canada, for one. If you're like, so, oh yeah, I didn't even need to preface this. If you're new here, we are from Canada. We're from Ontario, Canada. So Disney World is technically our home park, because even though it's still like 20 hours away from us, it's like on the same coast as us. So Disney World's our home park, and we've been a multitude of times. We have never been to Disneyland, but I want to go so, so bad. Austin and I had said when we first got married, we were like, maybe like for like our 5th anniversary or something, we can go to Disneyland and that'll be like a big celebration. Austin and I celebrate our 5th anniversary this year. So, and Disneyland is not in the plans this year. So it's kind of funny because like 5 years just came up really fast, and we were like, wow, okay, we definitely cannot afford to go to Disneyland yet. But yeah, hopefully within the next like 3 to 4 years, I want to say, we'll go to Disneyland. But it's just like hard because it's so much more expensive in like the grand scheme of things to go to California than it is to go to Florida, because realistically Florida we can drive down. There's so much more to do at Disney World than there is at Disneyland and California Adventure. And if we were to go to the West Coast, like realistically we would only need like 3-4 days like at Disney, but like we would want to do other stuff while we were in California, because it's not worth it to only go for a week there because it's so expensive to fly there. So we will eventually go, but we just don't have any like nothing near close to like plans to go. We kind of toyed with the idea of going to D23. I think it's next year. And like I would love to go. I think that would be such a cool experience to go to D23, and at some point in my life I will go. But like again, it's like like last year we were talking about it and we were like, oh, we'll go to the next one because it's in 2 years, but now all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, that's already like a year and a half away, and it's like I do not think we would be able to like swing that. So yeah, at some point we'll go, but have not yet. Favorite YA books of all time. I love YA. I think that it's like there's still such good books. Like that's what I loved when I grew up reading, and like what made me fall in love with reading as like a teenager. And then now that I'm an adult, I still read YA books and I just love them. So my all-time favorite when I was younger was Looking for Alaska by John Green and The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy. Those were like my favorite when I was younger. Now, I would still say The Summer I Turned Pretty. Everybody says it's very naive, but I think just because I have like a nostalgia to it and like I just related to it a lot like as a kid, and like just like reading it now, I'm like, yeah, I think I love it. But I recently just read, what's the one I just read? Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. That is a very good YA if you have not read it. It's like very, like, again, when you're reading YA books, you have to know that they're a little bit more like younger. Obviously it's related to a younger audience. So some of the like little like confrontations that they'll have are like, you're like, oh, really? You're gonna like fight about that? But like overall it's a really good book, so I would recommend that one. And then actually currently I am reading If He Had Been With Me. I don't know the author off the top of my head, but so far that's good. I'm really not far into it, but I can tell it's sad and I feel like at some point I'm gonna start crying when I'm reading it, and so far it's good. So I will keep you updated on my regular like monthly update videos. But yeah, I had a couple people ask me, how are you? Which is really nice. And I am doing well. I feel like this year I have just like embraced like feeling my feelings, and like I really thought before that I was really like intuitive on my feelings, but like I would let my feelings impact me so much. So like when I was feeling overly sad, I would be upset with myself. Or if I was overly happy, I would like tear myself down and be like, you are not allowed to be this happy. Or if I was like really emotional, or if I was going through PMS, I would just like degrade myself and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I was being so dramatic. Like I was PMSing, like I was being a bitch that day, like whatever. And like that's just not it. And it's one thing to like acknowledge your feelings, and it's another thing to just like accept them and let yourself feel the way you need to feel, and don't degrade yourself and don't put yourself down for how you're feeling. That's like been a big thing for me this year and like end of last year. That's helped me like feel a lot better, like in myself and in my like just like having self-compassion and like learning to have self-compassion. Self-compassion's been like my word of the year for this year, so I've really been trying to like work on that. But yeah, it's been good. About halfway through the year last year, towards the end of the summer, I started going to therapy, and I was going every 2 weeks for a while, and then towards the beginning of this year, I ended up going every 3 weeks, and then I went up to a month. And now I am no longer going to therapy, but it's a good thing. My therapist feels like, I call it my like, I'm like I graduated, but it's like nobody ever like stops going to therapy. But it's just like I would start going, and like I would talk to her about how I worked situations out myself, and like how I wasn't like overwhelmed by situations. Like obviously I still like have pretty severe anxiety in day-to-day life, but it's just like I'm a lot more able to realize it and like understand, and like if I have an anxiety attack, I like let it go and I like ride the wave. Riding the wave is like the best analogy ever. Look it up if you have anxiety. It's literally what just like made the switch in my brain to be like, oh, like that makes sense. Like just let yourself go through what has to go, and just it'll go away. Not that it'll go away, you're not pushing it away, like you're not just like pushing it away, but when you're riding the wave, you're letting yourself feel those high emotions, and then you're knowing that eventually it's going to pass. You're not going to be up here all the time. You're going to come down again. So accepting that. I don't know if that made any sense, but so far I am doing okay. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Do you have any travel locations on your bucket list? I wouldn't necessarily say that I have a bucket list. I've said before, like I think in the past I've said maybe like, oh, I have a bucket list of I want to do this and this and this. But I've kind of gotten out of that like bucket list mindset, because it's like, I know I might be taking this too deep, but it just like, it's just how it triggers in my head. But whenever people say bucket list, it's just like, what do you want to do before you die? Which is obviously what a bucket list is. And it just like kind of freaks me out. Death is like one of my biggest fears. It's one of my biggest triggers for having anxiety and like panic attacks. So I don't like to think of that way, but I understand the question. I really would love to visit all the Disney parks, and I just have to get over my fear of flying to be able to do that. I'm okay on a flight that's like less than 4 hours long, but anything longer than that I have never done, and I am really just nervous about. So I don't know how I would feel going to like the Asian parks, or like even going to like California. Like I'm even nervous to go over there. So one day I really hope to go to all of them, but I don't know. But I would also absolutely love to go to Hawaii, not just for Alani. I obviously want to go to Alani, but I want to go to Hawaii just in general because I just love the atmosphere and the tropicalness, and I just love like that like jungle forest, but also you're in the middle of nowhere on an island in the ocean. Like, oh. And then I also want to go to Europe, but again, the flight. So I don't know. I have a lot of places, but those are probably my like top. I want to go to Asia. I want to go to Europe, and I would like to go to Hawaii. Any more tattoos coming soon? Funny you should ask, actually, because I just got a new tattoo literally this morning. But I got there, it's very swollen and very red and kind of bloody, but I'll post a picture, I'm sure, on my Instagram at some point when they're a little bit more healed. But I got these little teeth, and they look like little fairy gremlin teeth. That's what I'm calling them, but I absolutely love them. It's so cool. Yeah, these have been on, so the girl that did my Vine, or my IV, I call it, she had these on her flash for like a really long time, and I was like, oh, I really want those, but like I just never bit the bullet. And then finally I was like, okay, I'm gonna get them, and I love them, and they're so cute. And she literally did it so fast. I think it took her like 30 minutes maybe. But yeah, so I love them. But if I have any more tattoos coming soon, I always have tattoos like in my brain of what I want, like off the top of my head. Like I can name like 2 or 3 that I want, but I hate planning tattoos because I hate the waiting game. I hate that you have to make an appointment and then you have to wait like months to go in. At least that's how it is with my tattoo artist. So it's just like, I don't know. But there's a couple that I want. I don't really like to say them because if I change my mind or if I like tweak things a bit, like, you know, but there's like 2 or 3 right now that are like, I really, really want. I just need to like bite the bullet and do it. And it's not biting the bullet of like being scared. It's just biting the bullet of like, they cost a lot of money. But yeah, so I have a couple in mind. I'm definitely not done getting tattoos. Someone asked, do you want to be a mom? And I'm gonna say, first of all, I think it's so cool and funny in a cool way that I like never have really been like asked these type of questions, like, do you also want kids? Like, are you planning on getting pregnant? Do you want to be a mom? Like, I've never really been asked those type of questions, which shocks me so much because Austin and I have been married for almost 5 years now. And like it just surprises me that people don't ask it more, because normally I hear of people when they get married young, like, or not young, but like when they get married, the first thing that it is like, when are you going to have kids? When are you going to have kids? And like, nobody really has ever done that. And I think it's because we got married young. Like, a lot of the people around us were kind of like assuming that we didn't want kids really young. So they were just like, nobody really asked. But I feel like now that I'm like 25, turning 26 this year, like I feel like now is kind of like the age where like people are gonna start asking. And it was funny because I was thinking that in my head, and then I've never really got questions like that before. And then of course for this one I got that question, which I just thought was funny. I just wanted to like point it out. Sorry, I have like, I think it's like mascara or something in my eye and it's driving me nuts. So to answer your question, I think so. If you would have asked me this at 16 or 17, I would have been like, yes, all I want to do with my life is be a stay-at-home mom with 5 kids. That's like what I wanted for like the longest time. Like all through high school, I was like, I just want to be a stay-at-home mom. I want to be a young mom. I want to have 5 kids. Like, I just want to stay at home and be with my kids. And like, that's like just what I wanted, like in my head. And then right when Austin and I got married, I was like, okay, I don't want kids right away, but like I still want kids fairly soon. And I would say like, I want to like start having kids by like 23, between 23 and 27. So now come to the age that I'm at now. I'm again 25. I turn 26 next month. And I'm like, right now, I do not want kids, but it doesn't mean that I don't want kids ever, because I do. But like just right now in my life, no. Like, because I just know that we're not at a place financially that we would want to be to have a family. And also, like, we don't have our own home, which I would also really like to have if we have kids. And I think because of the pandemic, it made like everything feel like it made us feel like we lost time. So it's like I wanted more time for Austin and I to do things without kids that we kind of lost. You know what I mean? Like Austin and I really want to go travel, let's say. Like I still want to travel before we have kids. So it's like, it's stuff like that it's like, realistically, like, do I want to be a mom? Yes. Do I want to be a mom right now? No. Do I want to be a mom within the next 2 to 3 years? I have no idea. So I don't know. I think the biggest thing for us is like the financial situation and like a house situation. If those two things kind of fall into place within the next year, I feel completely equipped to be a mom. But like at the time in my life right now, no. I hope that answers your question. Okay, those were like all of the little questions that we asked, or I was asked online. A lot of them are repeat questions, so that's why there's not, I guess there was like a decent amount. But I wanted to update a little bit on what's going on in my life and kind of where we're at and kind of where the future of this channel is going to go. And yeah, so basically, if you are new here or not new here, around this time last year, I signed a 1-year contract with the job that I'm at right now for a 4-day contract. The 4-day contract at my job, so Monday to Thursday, for 1 year. So when I signed that contract and I started working, the first week that I was there, they offered me to add on an extra day tentatively, because one of the other hygienists that was at the office was away, and they just said until she comes back, you can have 5 days if you would like. So I said yes, of course, I'd love to work 5 days. I want to work as much as I can because I want to make money. So anyways, so the last year I've been working 5 days and it's been great and I love it, and like obviously I make good money and like it's been good. But about a couple weeks ago, almost a month ago, they let me know that they were going to renew my contract for another year, which is amazing. So I'm going to be working at the same place again for another year, but I am dropping back down to 4 days a week at my job. And at first I was kind of upset about it because I was like, oh, like that's going to be a fairly big pay cut, missing 2 days for a paycheck. Like it doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, it adds up. So I was kind of upset about it. And then I was like thinking like, well, maybe I can try and get a second job at a different office, or maybe I could temp, because in my field of work, there's like apps that you can go on that'll be like looking for dental hygienists, and I could just like go and work at a random office on this day, and then I could work at a different office the next week, and then, you know, I could bounce around. So I was thinking maybe I would do that. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to take the 4 days and I'm going to work 4 days as a hygienist. And I'm going to take Fridays to be my little homebody, housekeeper, housewife type thing. So, I'm excited because it's going to allow Austin and I to have a full weekend where we don't have to do any obligations, because I'm going to do everything on Friday. So Fridays are going to be like always the errand running days, are going to be the grocery days, they're going to be laundry days, they're going to be like a full working day. Like it's going to be a heavy day. So it's not going to feel like I have the day off, but it's going to be nice because while Austin's at work on a Friday, I'll be able to do all the things that need to be done here. And then we can have a full Saturday, Sunday to just relax and do nothing and like do whatever we want. And if we want to go away for a weekend, we don't have to worry about like obligations of like, oh, but we should be back early on this day because of this, and we haven't done this yet, and we haven't done laundry yet, and we have to like prep groceries and stuff. That'll all be on Fridays, and it'll just like help. So that's kind of the plan, which will be nice. So in turn, because technically I'll have like one extra day, I'm going to be working 4 days, off 3 days. I'm hoping that it's going to allow me to post more on YouTube. And I don't want to say that I'm going to upload twice a week, because I know that I will not, because I don't even upload once a week right now. Like every once in a while I miss a week. But I really would like to at least try to upload twice a week, 2 times a month. So whether that be every other week, or whether it be like 2 weeks in a row there's 2 videos, and then the next 2 weeks there's only 1. I don't really know. We will see. But I'm excited because I love doing YouTube. It's like one of my favorite things ever. Like, no matter, I think, even when YouTube like isn't really popular, I think I'm still gonna do it. And I've just been doing YouTube for like literally so long, so many years, and it's just like my favorite thing in the world. And I love filming and editing, and I love watching vlogs back, and it's just fun for me. So I'm really excited because I think this is going to allow me to post more. It's going to make me be more social on my other social medias, on TikTok, on Instagram, all that stuff. So yeah, I'm excited for it. And yeah, that's like the main like updates right now with us. We are still living with my mom at her house, and we are saving lots of money, which is really good. We've been really good with saving money, and I'm like so proud of us. We've had a couple like hiccups where it was like, it felt like we weren't saving as much as we were, but then Austin like reeled me in. He was like, look at this, like we are doing a really good job. So it's been good. We are really, really, really hoping, and I'm just going to put this out in the universe, because normally I try and like keep, like I don't want to say things out loud because I don't want to jinx it, but I'm trying to be more of like, I'm just going to put it out there and just, you know, hope it happens with our hard work. But I would really, 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 really like to be in our own house by Christmas this year. And I know it's like so like that feels like so far away, but also it would be so close. But I just think that would just be so nice to be in like a new home for Christmas. And like, yeah, so I'm really hoping, I'm crossing my fingers. I don't know if I'm too ambitious or not in that way, but I would love to be in a new home, or at least like looking to buy by that time, which would be really, really nice. Those are the main updates. Really not much to update on. Our lives have been pretty boring because we've just been working and grinding, and like not a whole lot has been going on because the weather's been miserable. We're in that like gross spring right now where it's like, it's still freezing cold outside. There's still snow on the ground, and every once in a while we get a sunny day and it's like, oh, spring's coming, but then we get a miserable day. So hopefully once the weather starts getting nicer, we are going to get outside more, do more things. We're going to visit Brandon and Heidi. We have 2 little trips to see them planned before Brandon leaves for Disney, which is, oh my gosh, I could literally cry thinking about him going to Disney. I'm so excited for him. But yeah, we have 2 trips to plan to go see them, and I'm really excited. I'm literally like tearing up. And then I'm sure that Heidi is going to make her way over here at least 1 or 2 more times between now and when Brandon ends up coming back home from his trip. And yeah, that's about it. That's about all I have for you guys to update you on. I hope you enjoyed this little chit-chatty video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Leave me some comments down below. Let's like have a little chit-chat. I want to get a lot more better. I want to get more better. No, what am I trying to say? I want to get better at replying and talking to you guys and like replying to comments, because that's like the one thing I'm so bad at, because I read every single comment, but when I read them, I'm like doing things. Like it's like when I'm like, you know, in the car going somewhere and I just quickly like open my phone and I read through messages and I read through comments, and then I just like never reply, but I read them all. But I need to get better at replying, even if it's a short reply, because I never want to leave a short reply. I don't want you guys to think that I'm just like, oh yeah, whatever. But it's like, I'm so grateful that I want to leave a big reply, but then I'm like I just don't think of it on the spot. So anyways, I want to try and get better at replying to you guys. So anyways, leave me some comments down below. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you very, very soon for some vlogs and probably my March reflection / prep for next month. And yeah, anyways, I will talk to you guys in a bit. Bye.